Hey, what is going on, guys? So we just had another team takeover that is dominating the news right now that took place in Chicago. Now, it actually took place in a suburb that's like actually pretty far from Chicago. It took place in Tinley Park, which is actually like maybe like 30 minutes outside of Chicago going south. Tinley Park is right next to Orland Park. Orland Park has a really nice little, shopping area, nice mall, bunch of restaurants, stuff like that. And then, Matson's over there. Richton Park's not too far, Frankfurt, stuff like that. That's kind of where Tinley Park is. And as crazy as this is, so remember, like a month or so ago, you had this crazy teen takeover where you had literally thousands of teenagers that just went downtown and just started causing trouble. They were beating up people, robbing people. Folks got shot, folks got stabbed, it's just all this crazy stuff. And that happened under the last few weeks of Lori's tenure as the mayor. It was the last few weeks of her being a part of being the mayor of Chicago. Lori is no longer the mayor. Brandon Johnson is now the mayor of Chicago. And once again, the team takeover has happened again. Why do I bring this up? Well, because like I've been saying, I don't think that regardless of who's in office, I don't think you're going to be able to stop it. People think that Brandon Johnson is going to be better for stopping the youth and the teens. And one of the things that I was very critical on Brandon Johnson for is when the team takeover happened like a month ago, this is before Brandon Johnson was mayor. He was just the mayor-elect. He came out and said, oh, it's not their fault. They're young. Kids do dumb things, which I thought was just very irresponsible and just really stupid to say as the mayor of Chicago. You've got these kids that are going downtown and beating up people and shooting people and robbing them and just doing criminal things, criminal activity, and you're defending them and saying, oh, they're kids, they're young. Like, no, it's not that they're kids, they're young. I mean, yes, they are young, but a lot of them are still criminals. I mean, did you guys see that video where it was this white lady and her boyfriend, and those kids just beat the crap out of her? They just stomped on her and everything. It's just sad. So we had another team takeover happen again. Let me go ahead and play this video, and we'll just kind of go from there. Here we go.
And anxious moments and concerns for tonight.
Fox 32's Nate Rogers off the top tonight with the latest in Tinley Park. Nate?
Yeah, that's right. I'm Corey and Don. The Tinley Park Chamber of Commerce, in fact, planned this carnival in honor of Armed Forces Weekend, attracting hundreds of families from the surrounding area.
These kids have no respect. They planned this carnival that they had in Tinley Park in honor of armed forces. And these kids didn't care. They don't care nothing about that. They don't care about dignity, respect. They don't care about what events they go to. They could care less. They're just going there to just cause trouble, be stupid, commit crimes. I'm serious. I'm not saying that every kid that goes there is doing that, but that's what these kids are doing. Tinley Park is so far away from downtown Chicago. The fact that these kids are gathering at Tinley Park to cause trouble. For those who don't know, Tinley Park is a white neighborhood. It is a very nice and safe white neighborhood that is literally right next to Orland Park. And these kids went there and caused trouble. Like, they're not even doing it in Chicago anymore. They're bound to go anywhere where people are going to have a good time. These criminals are going there to ruin it. That is literally what you were saying. And that's literally what happened in Tinley Park. They're there to honor armed forces. And these kids go there. What are they doing? Fighting each other, causing brawls, beating up people. Now you got the folks that actually lived there who thought that it was a safe place to bring their kids. They're freaking running for their lives because 400 freaking teenagers want to come and be stupid. It's just ridiculous.
But things took a turn last night when, according to police, teenagers from other areas arrived here to participate in a flash mob. There were apparently several fights that broke out, where as a result today police canceled the final day of the carnival because another flash mob was rumored to take place today.
That is really sad. You see, you most of you guys know I live in Chicago right now. Well, actually, I'm in the suburbs right now, but I used to live in Chicago. I lived in Chicago for most of my life. Literally downtown earlier today. When I was a kid, okay? When I was a teenager like they are right now. I'm 28 now, but when I was a teenager, we used to go downtown too. Except the difference is me and my friend group, we didn't go and do these random teen takeovers. We didn't go downtown with the intent of robbing people or fighting people or flash mobs or whatever the heck they're talking about. Let's see, I was in high school from 2009 to 2013. When I was in high school during those years, we went to downtown for one reason and one reason only, to get at the fine girls. That was it. That was the only reason we went downtown. If we knew that the fine women were going to be at the beach, or they were going to be at Millennium Park, or wherever the cute girls at the different high schools or even our high school were going to be, we were there. It's that simple. These kids aren't going there for the girls anymore. These kids are literally going there to commit crimes. It's just getting ridiculous. They're going there to cause trouble. What the heck is a flash mob? Like, what is that? You know what I mean? Like, it's wild to me. And, you know, when some people say, oh, you're demonizing these kids, you're discriminating against them because they're black, I really don't agree, at least in this instance. I really don't think that it's discrimination. I don't think people are being racist and saying, oh, these horrible black kids. Or no, these kids are literally going downtown and causing trouble. And I'm a black person. And when I was a black kid, we used to go downtown all the time, especially during the summer, and we never caused trouble. We literally just went there to hang out or just to kick it with some girls. We didn't go there for all of this foolishness, and we definitely didn't ever go to Tinley Park. I can't think of one time that I ever went to Tinley Park when I was a teenager. Ever. Never, ever went there. Like, there was no reason for me to. So it's just a new day, and I think it's sad because I think these teen takeovers are going to continue, and they're very dangerous. And eventually they're going to turn out really bad. Eventually somebody's going to get hurt really bad. Right now, it's just, you know, there's a shooting here and there, you know, which is still really bad. There's a lot of like fights and different things like that. But eventually it's going to get to a point where several kids are going to get hurt, or several kids might actually end up getting killed. And that's why I really think that the new mayor, Brandon Johnson, whether you like him or not, however you feel, you got to hold him accountable as a citizen. Even if you didn't vote for him, I think it's going to be up to us to really hold this guy accountable and say, look, man, you've got to do something, because this guy's the mayor. And once again, we still have these teen takeovers happening. And I'm telling you right now, there's going to be more that take place in downtown Chicago. That one that you saw that happened like a month ago, it's not over. These things are going to happen throughout the entire summer. And stopping violence is a very complicated issue. But overall, I do believe that one of the solutions is you got to start throwing these kids in jail. I'm sorry. I don't believe in this whole, you know, if you put good resources back into the community and you do everything you can to make sure that some of these guys get a job. Listen, man, I know people who started programs that tried to help these kids get a job. And guess what happened when they tried to get them a job, or when they got them a job? Guess what happened to some of these people that I know that started these programs that were getting some of these black kids jobs? Guess what happened? They weren't showing up to work on time. They weren't wearing proper uniform. They weren't doing the job correctly. What I'm trying to say, folks, is we got to stop making it seem like everybody's a good person. Some people are just bad. Some people in this world are just criminals. There's nothing you could do about it. I'm sorry. I'm going to speak the truth here. I don't like this whole, you know, and don't get me wrong. I do think that you should reinvest into these black and brown communities and give them resources and give them better ways to help themselves. I agree with that. But my point is, when Brandon Johnson says things like, oh, let's just put summer programs there, let's give these kids, you know, different opportunities, different jobs. Some of these kids don't want that. Some of these kids don't want to work. Some of these kids are lazy. Some of these kids are just downright criminals. You can't save them is what I'm trying to say. You're not going to be able to save everybody. You can't save every child. Some of these people are just downright criminals. They're bad people, and they need to go to jail. If that's controversial, then I don't know what to tell you, but it's just the God honest truth. When I was in high school and middle school, there were some kids in our class that we all knew he's just not a good kid. He's just a bad guy. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it was. There were some kids, even when I was in high school, that we all knew. We were like, you know what? That guy he's going to be in jail. Like, you can't save that guy. I don't care how many programs you give. I don't care if you try to put him in a football camp, basketball, whatever. That is a bad kid. He is a criminal, and he's going to do what he's going to do. And I feel like that's something that we got to accept. So I think we need to be a little bit more tough on crime. Here. I do understand some of the initiatives. I really do. Because I do vote Democrat. Like, I get it. I understand why some people on the Democratic side think that, you know, some of these people, there should be prison reform and all these different things. Because, yes, there is a historical factor there where traditionally the way that our prison system and our criminal justice system is set up, it does do more harm to black and brown people. I agree with that. But I do not think that the answer is, oh, let's go more lenient. Let's not lock these kids up as much. Let's let them out after they commit crimes. No, some of these people are just bad. And also, I hate to say it, but to Brandon Johnson as the mayor, you got your work cut out for you. I really think that even if you don't see it coming or you don't suspect anything bad is going to happen, I think from now on, every single major event that you're going to have in Chicago, a carnival, a sporting event, whatever, I think you need to be prepared. And you need to assume that these crazy teens, these groups of 500 kids are going to show up. You need to start prioritizing that and start thinking it's probably going to happen here, it's probably going to happen there. You just need to start preparing. Because we're starting to see the signs. These kids are so crazy, they're not even going downtown anymore. I mean, they are, but now they're going to Tinley Park, which, like I said, guys, that's 30 minutes south from downtown. That is so far away. Like, it's insane. Anyway, I know this video is dragging. I don't want this video to be too long. Let me show you guys one more thing. I just want to show you guys some of the damage that happened, like some of the craziness. So here's a video of the actual brawls that took place at the carnival. Here's that video right here.
Damn, he's getting jumped.
So, yeah, there you go. I mean, like I said, I don't know what else you could do. In my opinion, a lot of these kids, you can't save. Some of these people are just criminals. I mean, look at this. They look crazy. You look like animals. You're all just fighting and brawling in the street for God knows whatever reason. It's like, I just don't know how you defend that. So, anyway, those are my thoughts. Once again, another team takeover. Hopefully, Brandon Johnson does something about it. Otherwise, it's going to be a long summer in the city of Chicago. Anyway, that'll go ahead and conclude today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.